What up YouTube, Steve from Team Purple Panda, and today I have another Inzektor deck profile for you guys. I'm actually very excited about this video because I spent a lot of time just refining and fine-tuning this deck to the point where I feel like it's really good. I find this deck to be another approach to the Inzektor archetype compared to my previous build. And I found that this deck is just a very well balance of everything, and it can push very hard and also defend quite well, and it's just really well-rounded deck that I've simply enjoyed playing tremendously, especially for the past few weeks. So I want to share this with you, and also will show you my main deck, some tech choices and explain them, and also show you my side deck and some tech choices there and explain them. So it's gonna be a very fun video, so let's go right into it. So this is my Inzektor deck as of right now. It's an aggro Inzektor deck. It's more aggressive than the previous one. So compared to the DeFi one, the approach to Inzektor is very different. Whereas the DeFi one, I play it more like a stun deck, where you set a bunch of cards, you protect it with Starlight Row, you protect it with Dark Bribes, and then you push with small beat stick that blow stuff up, and then it's essentially a stun deck. This one, however, you play it more like a very aggro deck. You blow I almost feel like this is like a six samurai deck, not the legendary six samurai deck, but the old six samurai deck, where you blow everything on the field, then you attack, and next turn you blow everything on the field and you attack. So it's much more well-rounded than the other one, and even though both decks are equally powerful, I feel like that this one have a much better handle to the meta than the last one. Like for the DeFi build, it's really good against plants, it's good against Dark World, but against mirror match, against rabbits, it's okay. This one's a bit different. It's have a good edge against almost everything. So with that said, let's go right into the approach. First, you have your Inzektor brigade. You have your 3 Dragonfly, 3 Centipede, 3 Hornet, your Gigamantis. Not gonna talk too much about these. This is pretty self-explanatory. Gigamantis is always amazing. I'm actually gonna post some dual videos really soon of me playing this build, and you'll see how this can be abused and abused again for OTK potentials left and right. Your 2 Thunder King. Thunder King is still very needed in this build, because I feel like that if you don't have anything, your opponent's playing smart, they don't push of anything, you can always just poke with Thunder King, and Thunder King is just one of those monsters just always good to have around, to either open with or to end with or something. It's just really good. 2 Veiler, 2 Maxi. Hand traps is very important, I believe, especially against the influx of windups nowadays, the loop and whatnot. So I believe 2 Maxi, 2 Veiler is really good. I really like this, just a 2-2 combo, because it gives you a big variations what you really can do. So yeah. Also, I'm going with 1 Sangan and 2 Tour Guide. 3 Tour Guide's not really necessary for this build, because there's no DeFi. Your monsters do not get removed that often, meaning that a lot of the times there's no really a big reason to go into Lavier. So the Tour Guide main's job is to get out Sangan and make searching plays or econ plays. You can go into an easy Zen mines for protection, but other than that, it's not really that's all there is to it. I mean, yes, the setup for a lot of plays, but it's not really necessary. So for this particular build, I run 2 Tour Guide instead of 3, and it's been working amazing for me. You have your BOS. I know there are only 4 light target in the deck, but that's what the level 3 exceeds is for. You can make Giga Brilliance, and there it is. Wonderful. Your Dark Arm. In my last video, a lot of people are saying Dark Arm is dead. Dark Arm for me is never dead. It's never ever dead. This deck has so much graveyard control that if Dark Arm is dead for you, you're probably doing something wrong. So I played Dark Arm even in the DeFi build, and again, it's never dead for me. It's always live, and I believe you're playing this deck correctly. When you draw Dark Arm, there's a very good possibility you should be able to drop it within that turn or next. So again, if Dark Arm's always dead for you, you probably do something wrong. Dark Arm, amazing card. Your staple, your Monster Reborn, again the MVP, one of the MVP, the enemy controller. So in my last video, I teased a little bit saying that, you know, when you enemy controller, you know, your opponent's Inzektor monster, when the Hornet's effect goes off, something amazing happens. And a lot of people still can't figure out what amazingness happens. So I'm still not going to tell you guys because it's just something that, you know, I really want you guys to figure out for yourself. But I will say this though, Inzektor Dragonfly and Inzektor Centipede's effect for searching, special summoning, that is a trigger effect. And trigger effects apply to the controller of the card. And if you look at, you know, trigger effect and the controller of the card and how to go off, there are specific, like there's a small list of cards that talks about, you know, there are certain circumstances when the controller of the card can change when this effect goes off. And one of the cards that's listed is enemy controller. So you can put 2 and 2 together. It's not really hard to figure out what happens when you take control of your opponent's monster when the trigger effect happens. So that's that. 2 MST. Very good. I actually want to run MST in this deck, but not Heavy Storm because of the amount of Phoenix Chain people are running right now. Phoenix Chains everywhere. I feel like the MST, it's a very good out to a Phoenix Chain. Especially I don't really run, you know, any negation. There's no bribes in here, so I think the 2 MST is just crucial. And also it gives the deck much more outs to stuff like, you know, Macrocosmo, to stuff like, you know, Shadow Imprisoned Mirror, and actually skill drain, stuff like that. So 2 MST is good. So 1 Foolish, Allure, Dark Hole is pretty much staples. 2 Power Duality. I feel like this deck is much more aggressive than other deck. It takes very little setup and just beat face in. So I feel like 2 or 3 Power Duality is a little bit too much. I think 2 is just good enough. Normally just draw into one of them, and you've pot 1, you should have your setup just right there, ready to go that turn or next turn. So I think 2 is a very good amount. So that's that. A staple, Soul Trap Dashu, 1 Call of the Haunted. I don't really like Call too much in this deck, but it's really good to recycle your Dragonfly and just go off on, like, you know, a second push. The reason I don't like it that much because in comparison to plants, there's not much chance you can chain it to a Sangan, a chain to a Dandy, a chain to, you know, a Card Trooper, and potentially +1. And because this is one of those cards, you know, sit on the field for like a turn or 2 for it to become useful, I don't really feel like 2 is a good number. I think 1 is really good. Just let you know, have that second push and go off and go crazy. Staple, 2 Phoenix Chain, staple, and your Solemn Brigade and staple as well. So that's the main deck. Again, I feel like it's very well-rounded. It's good against Mirror Match, it's good against Rabbit, it's good against Wind-Up. So yeah, that's that. But what really takes the cake is, you know, the application of the side deck. So this is my side deck down here that I want to show you guys. First, I want to side in 2 Doom Cow against Inzektor Mirror Match. The reason why I like Doom Cow so much is because it baits out Valor, and then if they don't have Valor, they will have to, like, you know, waste their Dragonfly and waste their Centipede to get rid of it. So essentially, I think Doom Cow, it's a very good lockdown card if you play it correctly. Obviously, it's very easy to misplay this card and you end up just minusing yourself or set up no defense. But I feel like that if you do it correctly, where, you know, you either use Doom Cow to lock your opponent down when you feel like he has nothing, or you use it to you know, bait out stuff before you can push with your Inzektors. I think you like have that kind of mindset, rather than just simply throw, like, you know, Doom Cow there like a Thunder King Ryo, then, you know, you'd be doing good. Again, Doom Cow is not a Thunder King, so you have to be very careful when playing him. You just can't throw it out like a beat stick like you do Thunder King. So that's that. 2 Cyber Dragon. This is where your beat stick come in. Cyber Dragon, I started in against anything that have beat stick. So against heroes, I threw that in. Against TG, I threw this in. It's actually really good against a lot of things, including, you know, of course, you know, your Machina, anything from machines. It's good against Zen Mighty, Zen Mines, all those, you know, machine dudes. So Cyber Dragon is just good, and especially it allows me to beat stuff out before, again, I push in my Inzektor. So it's always a plus thing. 1 Starlight Road. I do run some continuous trap and continuous spells. So when I do throw this in, I want to throw in the Starlight Road as well to protect those, because I want to invest in my back row without, like, you know, risking the heavy storm that can really hurt me. So 1 Starlight Road, 2 Summon Limit. This thing is just amazing. It shuts down so many decks. It shuts down plans. It shuts down a lot of agent plays. It shuts down a lot of tour guide plays. and even shuts down. It just completely destroys windup. So with that said, I want to wait for my teammates to Tristan and Mike to talk more about this card, because they're the one who came up with it, and they're the one who teched it for quite a while now, and they've been winning with this. So they are much more knowledgeable in abusing this card than I am. So when I meet them later in the week, I'll definitely ask them some plays they have a summon limit, and I think it's gonna be a very interesting video, because they win so many games simply based on this one card alone. So 2 summon limit, 2 decree for obvious reasons, you have 2 defy, and you have 2 smashing. I know Inzektors can destroy monsters just right off the bat, but smashing is really good to get rid of power monsters, like if they have a Wang Hu out, or if they have like a Wang Hu, a Banisher out, if they have just something to stop you, if they have like their own Doom Cow out, smashing is always good. So it's just really one of those good cards. Like if you got a feeling that your opponent's gonna silence stuff to stop you, maybe even like what's the thing called? Consecrated Light, smashing is the way to go. So now there's one more slot left, and it's between 2 choices. It's either a Mind Control or Leeching a Light. That really depends on what kind of deck you think you can be playing that day. So like for example, in the next regionals, I feel like that everyone's gonna be playing Inzektors. I'll definitely put in Mind Control. But once Inzektor die a little bit and the agents become more popular, I'll throw in Leeching the Light. So this last slot is very flexible, and it's really basically attuned to what the meta is gonna look like. So essentially, this is my Inzektor build. I really like it, and it's been working out amazing for me. So let me know what you guys think. Talk to you guys later. Bye bye.